Hey.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Alex, how you doing? You good?
I'm good. Hey King,
Hey,
how you
alright?
doing?
Wicked, man. This is it.
This is the Model X.
Oh, fresh and white as well.
Yeah, man. The
Love it,
t-shirt
man.
popping against it as well. So what I want to do with you, if that's okay, is basically go back on a journey through both your life with cars, punctuation, and just retell your story to where you are now, and then maybe explore a little bit about what you're going to do next. And
Cool, man.
yeah,
Let's do it.
you own Cook Daily.
Yeah.
You know, people will think because of Instagram that this stuff just kind of happens, and you know, you're like some overnight celebrity. But so let's talk about you as a child, or you 15 years ago. Did you know you wanted to do food, or was it something?
I mean, I always knew that I had a talent for food. You know, coming from a Southeast Asian background. My parents are from Laos, so we always had good food growing up. You know, and I just knew that I was different with all the other kids at school. You know, from my packed lunches, the food that we have at home. I just kind of clocked these things from early. Do you know what I mean? So I knew that I had a mature palate. I like spices, I like herbs, I like things like lemongrass and ginger, you know.
He smells like lemongrass.
Some of these things that you know, my friends have never heard of or even tasted. So from then I knew I was different, and then I started helping my parents, you know, working, just helping them out at their weekend store when they had a food store in South London. You know, I wanted a pair of trainers, so I had to work for them on a weekend job. Okay. So I was working from about 13, 14, had a weekend job. But even before that, my parents used to own Thai kitchens in small pubs, and after school I would just like hang there and help, you know, maybe like get them some plates ready or adjust the starters or something, you know. So I knew my way around the kitchen already.
Yeah.
You know, my father was a chef, so I was around food.
So you got the whole food legacy, both your parents and obviously your palate. But what kind of kid were you? Were you like a good kid, slightly rough around the edges? Who were you as a 15-year-old child?
I was just a product of East Ham, man, Newham, you know, and there wasn't nothing to do much back then.
Okay.
You know, we used to play computer games, but after that I just started playing out, and I think it just went downhill from there, really. You know, when you start playing out, first of all you start playing football and sports and everything, then after you just get into, you know, a little trouble here and there. Start experimenting. Like first you start smoking, then you start smoking weed, and it just goes on, and then the next thing you know, you're playing football no more. You know what I mean? You're just out on the streets. So yeah, I'm so happy now that there's so many things for the kids to do, man.
Yeah.
Like kids don't really play out no more, do they?
No one plays out anymore. So, but to be honest, in your example, played out made you get into trouble.
Yeah.
But it just shows that you can have a rough like start and then still bring it back around. It's all
I mean, you know, my parents, like, you know, I had a good upbringing, man, but it's just there was nothing to do in the 90s, in the late 80s, early 90s. Literally nothing to do. Just played out and just, you know, made your own adventure. And sometimes, you know, when you're with a bunch of boys similar to you, just get up to no good, you know.
But what was the turning point for you?
The turning point for me was, well, all my friends stuck to school. I didn't finish school. I dropped out at the age of 15. I went on this thing called the Year 11 project, which is college for kids that thought they were bigger. You know what I mean? Kids that thought they were too big for school.
Bad man.
Yeah, bad man. You know, that was me. So, well, I went there and it was just completely crap. We didn't even do nothing, to be honest with you. It was just other kids from the borough of Newham stuck in East Ham College, just trying to get through the year, really, with no qualifications or nothing. So it was mad because was it graduation evening?
The NRA.
I mean, my friends had that, and I didn't even enjoy that. You know what I mean? I didn't even have the chance to experience that, so I was a bit gutted. I'm not gonna lie. They got limos, you know, all got suited, and they finished school. And here's me. I'm just like in college around the corner. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I did. But I wasted a year there. Nothing really happened from that. And then I enrolled in a catering college. Straight after in Barking and Dagenham. And that was it. I found something that I really enjoyed, and that was the age of 16, 17. And that was wicked, man. We had a canteen there, that we had to run also. So we was actually working and studying. I think once a week we was doing like education. I mean, I chose that. You know, my parents said, you know, if you're not going to do anything, you're good at cooking, you might as well go for that. So they supported me in that. Yeah.
Okay. We're looking at driving experiences. So, like, they were running a business. Were they like driving vans, or what kind of vehicles were you kind of around when you were growing up?
Estate cars, 7-seaters, big cars that you could use for family and work, really.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me to today. I've only driven a 7-seater. I've owned like what, 3 cars. They've all been 7-seaters.
Yeah. Who was doing the most of the driving?
Both, to be honest. My mum and dad. Yeah.
But who's the best driver?
I say my mum was.
Okay.
Yeah. She is, still is.
You
Yeah.
have to pick up mum.
Yeah. My mum drives a van, you know, a big van.
Does she?
Yeah,
is she a big woman, or is
no,
she
she's tiny.
She's tiny in the
She's
van.
tiny. She's tiny. She's probably about 5 foot something.
But is she quite assertive on the road? And
Yeah. With that big van, innit?
Of course she
Cuts people up, you know.
I can imagine, you know.
Yeah.
So, did you take lessons from either one of them, or how did you?
No,
how did you get your license?
I started as soon as I turned 17, I think. Applied for my provisional license. I think I booked a bulk of lessons.
Yeah.
I started and I didn't even finish. See, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I tend to do that, man. Start something and never finish it. So I think.
Except course daily.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So I came back a few years later and then I passed. And
Okay.
straight away I just started driving a Ford Galaxy.
Okay.
It was my mum's, and we were sharing it, and then she just gave it to me. So I'm used to 7-seaters now.
Nice and mummy, isn't it? A bit
Yeah.
later. So you're finishing catering college. What next?
I went to work straight in a pub with my uncle. It was traditional English and Thai menu. It was next to the Lord's cricket ground.
Okay.
So we was busy, especially during the cricket season. And that was my introduction to a crazy working life, because it was a pub run by a bunch of Australians.
Okay.
And they know how to party, man. So that's where I learned how to drink beer also. I was just living the adult life, man. I was just so happy to get at the end and just go all the way to North London to work with my uncle, earn some money, and just learn things also, you know.
Yeah.
Take life a bit more serious.
So you go from road to Lords.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So
Exactly
what was the food like? What was the fusion between the English and the Thai?
So we just had like classic Thai dishes, like, you know, your lemongrass, your pad Thai, noodle dishes, and then you had like traditional pie and mash, bangers and mash, steak, sandwiches, yeah, classic pies. So yeah, traditional classic British dishes, you know, apple crumble. So it was like English and Thai. And it worked, man. Back in the day, it worked. I mean, it still does now. There's a few pubs that do English and Thai.
What were your days like then?
The AM to the AM, to be honest with you. AM to AM. Like, well, obviously we'll finish, the kitchen will close at 10, 11, 12, start clearing down, go for drinks, maybe go to Chinatown, have some food, and get back late. You know, it was that lifestyle. So, yeah, man. Thanks to my uncle, man. He kept me on the right track, man.
So, how long did you work there for?
A couple of years.
Okay.
A couple of years, and then I managed to get a chance to move to Spain, south of Spain, and work for an amazing 5-star hotel, which was run by an amazing French chef, and that was my introduction to fine dining. And that was, and I ended up staying there for 3 years, and then I went back. So in total 4 years that I lived in south of Spain, Andalusia. It was amazing.
Wow.
Cooking out there, you know what I mean? Cooking out there, living out there, it was sick.
You must feel within yourself that you've got something special going on.
Yeah, man, of course. It was like, it wasn't just me, it was me, my girlfriend, you know, a few others, friends, and it was like, it was the sickest time. So we did our work there, saved up all my money just to eat at other places. So when I came back, I didn't have no money saved up at all. So we'll just work and then eat at other places. Work and then travel, like even travel, you know, drive like 2 hours away, stay in a hotel overnight just to eat at one restaurant to see what other people were doing.
How did that affect who you were becoming as a chef, or your ideas of where you wanted to be?
Well, that was my introduction to that industry, more, you know, more fine dining, more restaurant based, you know. So it was like, that's what I really wanted to do now. I was like, I want to be a head chef of a hotel one day, a big hotel, or an executive chef. But I never thought I would be the person I am now, you know what I'm trying to say. So that was the idea from the beginning, you know, in my early 20s. So that's what I know. I knew that I had to do that. We'll just work, get the experience, travel, you know, spend time in different restaurants. That was the name of the game, and I know that I had to do that. And it was like, you know, you had to put in work, like 10 years minimum.
So who was like the top chef of the time that you were kind of aspiring to kind of work?
I mean, there were loads of chefs, man. Especially in Spain, one of the chefs in Spain was proper on a different level. His name was Ferran Andrea. And he owned El Bulli, which is in Barcelona. I think that was booked up for about a couple of years even. You couldn't even get a table for a year. That's how packed it was. It was like a 52-course tasting menu back in the day, you know, using foams and experimenting. It was just something new, man, that I'd never seen before. I fell in love with it, do you know what I mean? So he was making a lot of noise. And obviously you had like Gordon Ramsay that was, you know, blowing up on TV and stuff, so...
Did you ever think that you could be a TV chef in that, when you saw Gordon Ramsay doing that?
I wouldn't say TV chef, but I thought when I saw him cook on TV, I thought, yeah, you know, so that's something I could do also. Do you know what I mean? Like, be comfortable, just be comfortable, right? Because when you're in front of the camera, you got to be comfortable, and in the kitchen, I'm comfortable. Do you know what I mean? So kind of natural. But yeah, them guys, man. Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre White, all like Gordon Ramsay's entourage. You know what I'm trying to say? Like his people, his chefs. Jason Atherton, all them guys in like it was around 2005 onwards. They were fucking doing big stuff in London, man, making a lot of noise.
Do you think, because those guys are kind of like the establishment, they kind of come from similar backgrounds and stuff. Did you think that this kid from like East London could make it in amongst them? Did you feel that your background was a disadvantage?
No. Actually, advantage. You know, coming from a Southeast Asian background. Best of both worlds, man. Do you know what I mean? Every time I went to work for a company, every time it came to like Asian flavors, I had the experience already, I had the knowledge already, you know what I mean? Looking at these chefs that were just asking me for tips or questions, like, what do you think about this lemongrass? How do I do this? I was like, no, lemongrass, you know, you can infuse a soup in 3 minutes, chef, rather than boiling bones for 10 hours, do you know what I mean? You can use lemongrass and lime leaves, and that will infuse a Thai soup within 3 minutes, do you know what I mean? Just little things like that, so I already knew already, you know? So I felt I had the advantage, and that's why I proper stuck at it, because I knew that was good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, testament to today, right? So you've come back now from Spain, back to UK.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? What's your next?
So when I was in Spain, I needed to move on. I needed to experience something different. So I applied for Gordon Ramsay's company, and this is when I was in Spain, and I got a reply back and said, yo, you got an interview. So I took a flight, came and had my interview, and I got the job for Petrus in Knightsbridge, and that was it. This place had 2 Michelin star. I would come in as a commie, start from the bottom, just to see what was going on, and believe me, it was just one of the craziest experiences I've ever had in my life, man.
What made it crazy?
Just London, you know what I mean? Coming from the south of Spain, quite relaxed, fine dining, it was all nice, flowery, and then you come into London, West London, Knightsbridge, from East London, you know, back at my parents' house, getting like the night bus home, etc., bare stress in London, and then you had to start at like cooking by 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we'll leave there at 1. 18 hours, long shifts, 18 hours, you know what I mean, a day. Taking a night bus home, sleeping for 3 hours, and then going back to work the next morning. You sign up for something, right?
Yeah.
It's a job, it's catering. You know what it's about from early, seeing your parents struggle. Like, just, you know, that's how I saw it. I just had to deal with it. I didn't think about how much I was getting an hour. Is this legal? Is this time I gotta go and get my bus? I'm gonna miss my train. It was no, man. It was like, I'm here for a reason. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm here to learn from the best. So you had to commit, and you had to sacrifice things. And if it means sacrificing your sleep or part of your life, which is what it is, you sacrifice a part of your life. Yeah. And that's what it was. I just had to stick at it, man.
So I take it there was no social life. There was
hardly no, to be honest.
Time,
no, really,
nothing.
no. It was weird. It was like on my days off, I would just want to sleep the whole day. Sleep, wake up, eat, sleep, and repeat. Wouldn't even go out, man.
Did you have, how many days off did you have? Like 1 or 2?
2, sometimes 1.
Okay.
Some half days. Work was life, and I loved it.
What did you take out of that experience?
Just the experience from working in such a prestige establishment, such as that place. Do you know what I mean? Seeing how professional it was, seeing what people want out there. You know, the different levels of cuisine. You have A, B, C, D. You get me? This was like A+. You know what I'm trying to say? So just seeing things, just taking it all in, taking this catering world all in. You know. I started off with market work with my parents, setting up stalls for them. You know what I mean? Slicing cucumbers and stuff, and then I went to work in a pub, you know, and now I'm in a 5-star hotel abroad, and now I'm in a 2-star Michelin restaurant in Knightsbridge. You know, it's like this is the journey, so you better not crack, you know.
Yeah.
So what I took really was just hard work. I knew I had to work hard to get to the top.
You sound so blasé about it.
Yeah, I know.
But from my perspective, it's just like, this is incredible. Like you've made so many different steps and transitions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, on to the next one. I'm just gonna work hard. That's all I want to do. And it's nothing. Where lots of people will say, oh, F this, man. It's too hard. I'm tired.
No, some people did, you know what I mean? And some people don't. That's the way it is. I've got loads of friends that I met through catering that they're doing a totally complete different job now, man.
Yeah.
Completely different job. Yeah, like, I was shocked, but it is what it is. It's tough.
I get living your passion. And you were living your passion from then. So I think that gives something a little
I just knew from early what I wanted, you see. I was focused. I knew. Some of the guys that were working were just working. They didn't even know what the next step was, you know what I mean? Where they're going, you know? They were just there. All I know, they were just there, working. But me, I was working there for a reason, do you know what I mean? I just knew my route. What's next? What's the next step, you know? I was always thinking like 5 years ahead. I just looked at Gordon Ramsay's life, read his books, man, done it. That's the only way. There is no shortcuts at them, you know, at that time. Now there is. You can just open up a market stall now, make a hit, and you know you're there. But back in the day, you had to like graft, and I just knew that's the route.
Beautiful.